Episode number 398.
It takes a bit longer for stuff to fall off the first page, but it absolutely happens. And we have a lot of competitive clients out there who are like trying to get on the first page every single day, all day long. And if you're there, don't sit on your laurels, man, not even for a split second. You should have as much energy focused on keeping your existing ranking positions as you do on getting new ones.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up, ready to bring you a little fuegos in your days, nights, weekends, or whenever you are listening to the show today. But after this show, I think you're going to want to think about content and business strategies to grow and becoming an expert using content, especially blog content at scale with incredible companies like Codeless. And I'm bringing you on Mr. James Sherer. James, are you ready to be real?
I'm very ready to be real, Mr. Travis. How we doing?
Let's go. I am awesome, my dude. Today, a great day. It's Monday. Getting the mindset ready, about to take the family to the zoo today because it's the family day today as well. I throw the podcast. I throw a lot of the fun things I like to do in my days. So I'm pumped, and I always have a good vibe after the shows. So, but most importantly, when I was coming across your journey and your path, you had more of an inbound marketing focus, getting on and growing obviously to this Codeless company, which we can get into and talk about. But take me back into your specific history and journey. Were you always interested in marketing? Were you always interested in content, advertising, writing?
I mean, I was always interested in writing. I'm an English major, so I graduated from university with zero job prospects whatsoever because back in 2010, content marketing was like barely a thing. I mean, a few people were doing it, and they were winning a lot by doing it pretty badly, but I didn't really know what it was. So I came into a marketing internship, just happened to be content marketing. And I played around with as a writer. Luckily, I was like at a tech startup that paid me horrifically, but gave me free pizza.
Nice.
And but
kept you alive.
Ping pong and pizza. What kept me alive? So what I was enjoying there, and what I was kind of like glad to get was, it was a tech company doing marketing stuff. So I was very quickly writing on these things, and I couldn't just be BSing the whole time. So I had to actually read about this stuff and try this stuff.
Right.
And very quickly that gave me a really solid foundation in, social media, lead generation, marketing automation, email marketing, because that was what our tool did. I had to like talk about that stuff with expertise. And suddenly at the end of a year, pretending for a year, you actually know what you're talking about because you've written it and you've tried it and you've read a lot about it.
Right.
So that was I took off from there. I went into editing at that company. And then had it inbound there because we're doing a lot of like content marketing optimization and sales funnel stuff within content.
Email marketing, drip campaigns, things like that, right? Boom.
And then my wife and I were like, all right, we were living in Vancouver, Canada. We were like, all right, let's just travel for a year.
Nice.
So during that time, I was like, all right, I got to make some money somehow. So we did remote. And I was like doing the hammock on the beach writing thing that a lot of people do.
Do you like it? Did you like that?
I mean, it was tough, right? Because like you want to be going on hikes and swimming in waterfalls and trying funky beers, and instead you're like, well, I got to get this piece done. So I'm going to stay in the hostel and like write for 8 hours. But when you weren't doing that, you looked outside and you're like, okay, I got to write this, but then I can go to the waterfall and jump in, which was amazing. So it is about that work-life balance. No matter where you are, you still got to get your work done, right? So the writing I was doing was for an agency called Codeless. They have, at the time, they had like 40 odd freelance writers, a couple people who were full-time writers, and like a couple editors here and there. And so I came on as a writer, but I was like, dude, I love writing, but like my head's 100% strategy in trying to drive growth through content, not just the deliverable,
Right.
So I went on to director of editorial there in Codeless back in 2020. And then January, just a couple weeks ago, VP of growth.
Bang!
So that's really exciting.
Let's go.
But I mean, my heart's still in client side strategy. Like I love doing what we're doing internally, but like what I get joy from is like the conversations with clients and helping them figure out how best they can like drive grow through content and how to succeed against like crazy competition, like what stuff to try and like how to approach, how to build momentum, how to build domain authority, all that kind of fun stuff. That's where most of my head still wants to be, for sure.
And so growing Codeless, where do you focus as far as synergizing our customers, our listeners, to you? Are there types of industries? Are there types of entrepreneurs you just synergize or feel like it works best with?
I mean, content works way better with B2B and SaaS than it does with B2C. Like, who are we kidding? We know that's the case. Pretending that like is just as easy and just as successful to write like long form content about a pair of water socks as it is to create like educational content around like email marketing best practice and stuff. It's just not, that's not true. So I think it's like, yeah, we have worked with B2C companies. We have seen B2C companies find success. Most of that does tend to be around the copywriting space rather than like the SEO driven, campaigns. It's about site optimization as much as it is about like creating long form content, right? About educational stuff. So I would say like where we find synergy, definitely in SaaS, B2B, fintech, like technical. Technical is fun for us because like not every agency can do technical content. So if you do like serious cybersecurity content or serious like in-depth, like we wrote for Robinhood a year ago, and we're still
Let's go. I love Robinhood.
Yeah, they're great.
HOOD, baby. It's a great stock to buy.
Some of their stuff was like, advanced financial definition focused content, right? So then we have to build, and they're like, we want to do 1,000 pieces in a year, and we're like, okay, I'm gonna go hire a bunch of CPAs and get back to you.
Let's get some CPA content writers. Let's go.
Yeah. And then they're like, and those writers are like, we're doing this on the side of like managing banks and stuff. So you got to pay us for that. But, it does work for like absolutely technical content's fun. But I'm I guess because my background's in SaaS, I'm still like, SaaS marketing content. That's still where I'm at, because that's
you can't serve everybody too. You can't serve everybody. There's enough businesses in that space to serve. You know what I mean? There's thousands of businesses that are serve right there in the SaaS business, as well as we know. There's people right now that have ideas that they're going to be a SaaS business in 2 years. They're just starting today, and they're building a business. They're getting going. Much as we see established businesses, we know that there's always a business. Like Mark Cuban will say, someone's trying to kick your butt in the garage. There's two guys trying to kick my butt in the garage. It's just a simple way of always thinking that competition is always on the rise, whether it's from artificial intelligence or whether it's from some brand new incredible mind or whatever. We just don't know. And so if you keep that mindset, I think it just reminds you, to not take the blockbuster approach and to constantly evolve. Instead of thinking everything's good and, thinking everything's great because customers are lined up at your store, not thinking, oh, well, in 10 years, you're going to have streaming on your phone and you're going to have streaming on everywhere. And people are going to get these things wherever. And if they had just thought a little bit outside of that, Blockbuster probably would be Netflix. It would probably the names would be replaced. Blockbuster would have probably bought Netflix. They would have probably acquired them, and they used maybe it might not have been the same success. Who knows? We could always talk about that. But tell me this. I mean, that would have been a smart. They could have bought Blockbuster, Hulu. They could have, they could have just been swooping companies up or evolving it on their own because they had the infrastructure and they had the all the deals, the licensing, all the stuff that, you had to have. It just they didn't think ahead. And same with Sears, a great huge company, right? Sears.
I think what's interesting about that is like that works just as well for SEO as it does for like those spaces.
Right.
Because a lot of our clients are like, we want to get to the first page of Google for all of these key phrases. And we're like, sweet, we'll help get you there. And a lot of agencies and a lot of like, especially the content creation side of it, it's like, sweet, we're going to write 1,000 articles for you and you're going to get them live. And then we're going to do more new articles. The question becomes though, if those URLs get to the first page of Google, how long are they going to stay there? And what are you doing to keep them there? Because a lot of people are like, we're really happy about this. And then they don't do anything and it just goes down. Domain authority goes down as quickly as it goes up if you don't work your ass off to keep it where it needs to be. And like referring domains, If your content's no longer ranking, they'll go somewhere else. They'll lapse. A 301 will happen. A 404, and the like stuff slips.
Right.
Sure, it takes a bit longer for stuff to fall off the first page, but it absolutely happens. And we have a lot of competitive clients out there who are like trying to get on the first page every single day, all day long. And if you're there, don't sit on your laurels, man. Not even for a split second. You should have as much energy focused on keeping your existing ranking positions as you do on getting new ones.
It's like the same thing with keeping your, your current customers. I think like you can go run and get another Google ad, or you can just amplify your current customer to spread the message or do another transaction with you. And a lot of times we forget, with obviously the beauty of email marketing and all these different technologies, retargeting technologies on your website, etc., how much we already have inside of our own customer base. Instead of trying to go find a new customer, why not market to the people that have been to your website, for instance? Like you aren't doing retargeting. What are you doing? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like
also, man, it's cheaper.
It's cheap. It's dirt cheap.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to retain a client than get a new one. Acquisition is so insanely expensive.
Yes.
And when it comes to, again, bringing it back to content, existing optimization of content is significantly cheaper than writing that piece from scratch. So if you get an article live that is not doing so hot, having a live URL is still going to give you a significant leg up than if you started from scratch. So
don't give up.
Tweak that existing content. Don't give up. Tweak it. Update it. Add more word count. Add custom images. Add a video. Whatever you need to do.
Right.
Rather than creating new content, so long as the URL is related to what you're looking to rank for.
Interesting, dude. So awesome. I mean, the cool thing about this space, since I've even been in, obviously I'm more on the social media side, but I see it all, and it kind of all correlates in many ways. Obviously, content writing and blog writing correlates to doing a social media campaign about that blog and things like that, and vice versa. It's always evolving. It's always evolving, always changing, keeping us on our toes. But now, my man, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it.
Let's go. Apple or Android?
Oh, God. Phone or computer?
It doesn't matter.
You're on a map.
So you choose both. You do Apple. I got you.
Apple.
There we go. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Instagram or Facebook?
Gotta go with the gram.
The gram. The IG. Chicken or steak?
Sorry, I missed that. One more time.
That's okay. All right, we're having a little bit of the Zoom, baby. Let's go. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah,
chicken or steak?
Steak. Oh,
steak.
Come on.
Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Spotify or Pandora?
Spotify.
Movies or video games?
Oh.
That was a tough one. Depends on the mood.
It does also depend on the video game.
Video games are really good.
Oh, man. Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Reading.
Okay. If you're thinking about diversifying portfolio, stocks, real estate, or been thrown in cryptos?
Stocks.
Oceans or lakes? If you're going to take a vacation, because we all deserve a vacation, my man.
Oceans.
What ocean do you want to go to right now? You're hopping on a plane today. We're out.
Pacific.
Hawaii. Come out to the Hawaiian Islands, baby. Let's go.
Dude, let's go to Mexico.
There we go. Although Cancun is a little bit craziness right now.
Maybe
holy moly on that one. But yeah, I mean, in general, it's always pretty safe. But holy moly, guacamole on some of that stuff. When you're waking up in your day, my dude, getting ready, pumped, energized for the day, why do you love being you?
Hell of a question. I love being me because the things that I tried to do and tried to accomplish in my 20s, I pushed for. And then when they happened, you wake up really happy with the work you put in to make it happen. That startup that you work out and you don't really get paid except with pizza for like 3 years.
Right.
It got you the job that bought you a house. And
people forget that. They forget that. The kids nowadays, especially, you know what I mean? They forget there is a reward, even if it's not you don't physically get paid sometimes. The grind.
100%.
The grind.
And also the people who you're seeing who you're like, damn, that dude's inspirational, or damn, I want to work with that guy or whatever. You got to know that like 10 years ago, that dude was just another kid.
1,000. Yeah. If you're Kobe or Michael Jordan, or you're the best of the game, you're still working your butt off every day in all ways to keep that at that level for most people. You know what I mean? And so it's never easy to stay at the top. Like it's like a Google ring. It ain't easy to stay at the top, baby. Do you think you'll ever retire from VP of content, growing things, doing content marketing, inbound, working at companies, entrepreneurship, startups?
No, man. I think I'll be consulting on some level forever. I just love it too much.
Keep the mind going. Keep the synapses going.
That 80-year-old dude who's still he's like so out of touch. He's just like recommending shit from like 2019, and they'll be like 2070. Yeah, right. I'll be like,
what?
Yeah, I'm still doing it though.
I think there's a piece to living in your retirement every day. Like there's like people forget, like whatever you really want to do when you're retired, do it today too, because a lot of times you're younger, faster, and maybe you can't afford it, but you put in the work some way or another to get it, or sacrifice something to get it, and live it today a little bit too, because there's a piece to that, instead of, because we all know, you know what I mean? And there's a piece to that. And then also, why not? Why not? A lot of us can work and do work a lot, whether it's online, whether that's working late night hours, blah, blah, blah. So we're probably working more than ever. Why not do some things we enjoy too, along the road? Do you have a routine on starting your day?
Yeah, man. So I'm in the UK, so I work at 10 to 7. Which is amazing. I mean, it's tough for the evenings can be, but like what I love about it is I can get up, start kind of slow, read a bit, go for like a nice run or a walk with my dog, have like a mega nice meal, and then like really crack into it 9:30, 10. And I mean, the remote thing is amazing as well. But yeah, like I love having those few hours in the morning to like get myself feeling good about whatever I need to do, rather than having to rush that process, which for years it was like 6:30 in for 7:30, and you do all the things, including the commute. So I love having that little bit of flexibility. I'm also, I work better, once at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. Then
you're more of a night owl. You got the good ideas flowing. You got the good ideas flowing as it goes. Some of us build energy.
I get to talk to you at 6 p.m. It's great.
Let's go, baby. You're ready to go till 12 o'clock tonight. We're ready. We're ready and rocking. Is there a skill you're trying to master right now? Something trying to get better at?
PPC. I'm messing around with it again. It has been a couple of years. I've been in and out of the game for sure. I used to write on it a lot, but like, when you write on something in 2018, it changes by 2022.
Like 5 different subject lines now, and the things you can do now on the PPC are way different now, right? Like on the Google ad campaigns.
It's weird as well, because like when you thought like, man, I knew this, like this is one of my things, and then 4 years later you're like, this is no longer one of my things. I got to read up.
Yes, it's not actually that much harder, but it's just that things have gotten more options, more steps, and more. And it's a benefit to those that run the campaigns too, because you can just do more things as well than you could even 10 years ago. And then on some of the platforms, you can't do as many things. Like on Facebook, you can't target as well as you used to be 5 years ago, to be honest with you.
Fun.
That was fun when we were doing that stuff. Target your income level. Let's go for the millionaires or, whatever it was. Those are the heydays. If you're a homeowner, let's target them. If you want, although the best one the car dealers loved was you could target. They had third-party data that Facebook was offering to target the auto if you were interested in buying an auto, and the dealers just were. We do like a 5 or 10 mile radius and just blast them. It really helps. Now it's just more a little harder, And if you ran those ads now, you'll get in trouble. You might get your Facebook ad banned. So it's crazy how things change. But and that's part of the platform too, is accepting that if the platforms change, you have to evolve. That's kind of what we had to come to acceptance last year. If they make changes, we got to get started and get better at TikTok ads. If customers come to us, hey, Facebook ain't the only place. TikTok, we got all different places. You know what I mean? Because if they are, can't do the same things and the customers are different places, we have to also learn the other ad platforms like Amazon ad platform. I mean, that's an incredible ad platform for some businesses. And it's just another competitor for Facebook, to be honest.
It's also, that's the difference between people who like stay up to date and like adjust and like pivot whenever there's one of those changes, no matter what we're talking about, those are the people you want to work with. Because the guy who's still marketing businesses in the exact same way he did in 2020 is obsolete.
It's harder. Let's put it this way. It's a lot harder for you. I'll be honest with you, because everyone else is pivoting around you and the customers are constantly moving different places. No matter where, no matter what. I mean, yeah, some platforms come and go. We know it. We know that some platforms just come and go and they never get traction. But then you start to see real traction, and then you can say, oh, TikTok probably ain't going to go anywhere for a long time, most likely. Now, Facebook's trying to do everything it can to knock it off, and Reels and things like that, and it's doing a pretty dang good job. But TikTok's a really good competitor, as well as, like I said, Amazon, to the ad space. They just popped up an ad platform about 2 years ago, and now they're like one of the top ad networks in the world, in advertising dollars. So you can only imagine that's going to get more targeted and a little bit better, hopefully. Do you have a favorite app or a tool that you love using on your daily basis?
Dude, I live in Google Sheets and Google world, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Presentation, Google awesome. Drawing. Like I use Google Drawing, man. Like I'm that.
Oh, that's
dude.
Cool. Hell yeah, I love that one.
I love that whole suite of tools. I've been using it on. I would say like 50% of my day is spent in that tool. And it has for the past 10 years, man. But that's content too, like 100%. That's the world I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where you can save things. You can have a team working on it together. You can be sharing documents, and it's just not, like people talk ish on Google, but like, dude, they're giving you the layups in all these tools with the Gmail and all the tools they give you. They're giving you layups to build business, and it's at scale. Maybe they're taking a little data. Everybody is. We know that. But let's just be real. They're giving you everything you need to do anything in the world for free every day. Google Drive, Google Sheets, Google this, Google that. I mean, everything. So it's amazing, incredible. I absolutely love what they're doing because it is helping us. Let's just be real. It is helping us. Be real for me, my man. If you can sit down with a steak dinner with anyone in the world, who do you want to chop it with tonight?
Oh, Barack Obama. I'm still that guy. Yeah,
I love that dude.
Oh man, he's also just so cool. Like as far as like interesting conversation with. Oh absolutely, man, yeah. Still him.
The OG. The only president that's down to go up on the basketball court and drop some shots too, man. That's what I love, man. Let's go. I'm a huge sports fan.
Badass gray suit. Oh yeah,
huge sports fan. Too cool. And his wife too. She's a beast, man.
Michelle's amazing. Yeah,
incredible story. Those two together, and that would be a dynamic duo steak dinner. Is there a book you either reread or guy just sticks to your soul?
Not really. I am not necessarily a book guy because I think. Okay, let me say this. I am a massive blog reader. I read specific because the reason being is that whenever I pick up a book, I get a lot of insight from it, but it's always like 10% or something of that book that I fully take away.
Like fluff. Some of it's fluff.
Whereas if I keep up to date on the blogs I love, like Backlink Go, Seth Godin, like all of those kind of blogs, I know that what I'm getting, I can get 90% of value from that thing because that dude is in the moment making recommendations based on data, based on what they're seeing for their clients and themselves on their site, and that's where I get value from.
It's real time. It's more real time. The book, much longer tail process. We know the book publishing process is longer. We know in college and school, you publish a book, it's like 2 years, 3 years outdated. It's the same somewhat idea with books in real. Let's just be real. But you're right. That's the thing about blog. It's an anti-book killer because push a blog, have an idea today, push it out today. Something's happening today, push the blog out today. That blog could pack enough information as a book. They're just not fluffing it up. They're just not adding a ton of extra words, and they're not, expanding every sentence to be a whole paragraph. They're really getting to the nuts and gritty, especially a guy like Seth, who's really, profound with his words. That could be a whole book, each one of his emails. You know what I mean? And some of them are simple, but you could expand on each one of those. As we know, we could fluff things up in content writing. You can expand a topic, much deeper. And then sometimes it's harder to be concise with the topic. And that's the expertise of a writer, is being very concise with your words, being impeccable with that word. Well, my dude, I appreciate your soul, your energy, your passion for the game. And I obviously want to plug the business too, but where is your favorite place to hang out on social outside of IGs? I saw they have a LinkedIn there too for you specifically.
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn a bit. I'm on Twitter for sure. JD Shearer. I'm on Twitter every once in a while.
There we go.
Yeah. But probably the best place to contact for business will be LinkedIn for sure.
Gotcha.
LinkedIn or Twitter, I'm just playing around and mentioning.
We're just having fun. Yeah.
Just having fun a bit on there. Yeah.
We'll see if we can put them both in there. Why not have the fun and the business as well as for the business? Can you give the business a plug too so we can put them in the show notes as well?
Yeah, man. So Codeless, we're a content marketing, content strategy agency. We're all about building like high volume, high quality content for businesses to drive growth. We've done it for some of the biggest companies out there: Monday.com, Robinhood, ActiveCampaign, Freshworks, Chargeify, like some of those unicorns that are like growing really quickly right now. They're doing it through content we've been producing. So really exciting stuff. We're growing massively this year, and we'd love to have you along. If you're looking to grow through content, man, like we do it as well as anybody else in the business. Better.
Now's the time too. Now's the time. Don't wait. I always say because it also, the thing about having a team, I think it makes you accountable to putting out consistent content, because most content creators, folks, give up after 7 pieces of content, 7 blogs, 7 podcasts, 7 YouTube, 7 Instagram posts, blah, blah, blah. And the real ones either are going to push through it themselves, and it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of grind. And sometimes it's impossible for a business to do at scale, like a Robinhood or something like that, because they just don't have the team scale. You got to get in professionals like Zapier, incredible company, partnering with the companies like these. They trust not only big brands trust you guys, but at the end of the day, even if you guys are small, this is the way you get big, is through content. This is the way that you continue to fight, if you are big, against your competitors in an evolving space. And so Codeless.io. But dude, I want to thank you again for your time today, folks. You've been hanging out with Mr. James Shearer and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now. And Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now and take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no costs for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.